held up in their head. And, so when you get into this space, so you have to get into new circles, find your. Most people are not stuck because life is hard, because we already know life is hard. Life be lifing for everybody. Some people look and they be like, oh, Dr. Shon, that doesn't mean nothing. Life still be lifing. Be lifing. But most people get stuck not because it's hard. They get stuck because they have mastered the art form of making excuses. They have mastered it, guys. It's just like, I just can't do it because this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, and this happened, and that happened. People like that, they like, but I'm gonna wait now. I'll do it tomorrow, or they're gonna have all of these excuses. So you have mastered the art of excuses. So that's why we named this successful versus excuseful, meaning you full of excuses. And there's a huge difference between people who win and people who stay in the same place for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. They don't wake up saying, in 20 years, this is where I want to be in life. Or they don't say, next week I need to have this goal accomplished. They wake up and say, I can't do nothing because I have these excuses. So what are you full of today? A success mindset? Because it starts in the mind. Most people feel like I can't be successful because of the excuses, but really you can't be successful because you don't have the success mindset. Because guess what? If you believe you're successful in the mind, you are what you think you are. So if you think you ain't nothing, then hey, who am I to change your mind? You have to be the one to say, I am done with these excuses. I refuse to settle for less, and I have to keep going. One of the worst parts of my life was losing my mom. Losing this queen here. Losing my mom. 7.5 years old. One of the worst experiences and feelings in my life. At that moment, that was the excuse for me to just quit on everything. Losing my mom, being raised in the house with different people who aren't my parents, going back and forth to custody battles, this school, that school, losing my friends every year because you got to move. And older people don't think about that. When you have younger kids and they have friends at certain schools and you keep house hopping, or they have to go through custody battles, or kids who are in foster care, they have to move, that impacts the child's growth. And a lot of people cannot get out of, dang, this really messed me up, so this is my excuse. My whole thing was, I don't care what school I'm going to, I refuse to grow and be an adult that don't have nothing to show for it, all because people expecting me to lose. And it's crazy how other people's expectation of your failure can sometimes be your fuel. Sometimes that's the fuel you need. Because I was like, oh, y'all think I'm gonna be a stereotype because my mom had me at 14 years old, so now I'm supposed to follow in her footsteps, and now that she's not here, you really gonna act like I can't be nothing? Oh, let me show you who I am when I have a successful mindset, versus wake up with all the excuses that are their mine. I can have these excuses. I can cry out forever for the rest of my life. Every time I'm feeling down and I don't have my mom to talk to, I can sit and cry forever. But guess what? Nobody gonna care. Nobody care about your excuses. Nobody care about my excuses. They don't. So you have to care about more than having a mind full of reasons why you can't accomplish your goals, why you can't complete challenges in life, and why you can't think critically about the things that you want, because this is your life. And what happens is when you get stuck and you stay in the same place for 10, 20 years, you feel like this is part of you. You lose your motivation. You don't have goals and dreams no more because you're stuck like a tree. And you're not a tree. You are a living being with a soul and a spirit. You don't need more motivation from Dr. Shon. What you need is to stop negotiating with your excuses that you wake up with every morning. And if you don't have excuses and you one of the people who beam light and you're successful, hopefully you wake up with that energy and it can spread to other people because they see your glow. I need you to put no excuses in the chat. No excuses in the chat. Come on. No excuses in the chat. No excuses. Somebody waking up this morning and they feeling down and out and they can't figure it out. And all they need to do is flip on the switch and say, you know what? I need to flip the switch from being excuseful to being successful. And all that is, remember, it doesn't mean that you have a whole bunch of money in the bank. It doesn't mean that you riding around in a Maserati. It don't mean that. It means you got it in your mind that you already successful. How do you think people go from being in the hood to being a doctor? You got to already see that before it happened. Because if you don't see it before it happened, you're not going to take the necessary steps to make it happen. If you don't see the future in advance, if you can't see the vision, that means you don't have a successful mindset. You're not aligning your spirit up with what it takes. You're not really being honest about what it takes to be successful. Most people have no idea what it takes. It takes a lot of sleepless nights. Another reason why people have a fear of success is because that is more responsibility. The more successful you are, the more responsible you are for your dreams and your goals. And most people don't want to feel like a failure, but it's okay, guys. I failed so much in my life. You wouldn't believe. And I still became a dentist. Not because of the failure, but because I did not use that as an excuse. See, sometimes failure can be your excuse. Dang, I tried, it didn't work. I don't want to try again. I might get denied. And before you even try again, you already done clocked yourself out of your dream. You already done turned in the towel. You already done killed the plant. You start watering it, start giving it sunlight because you couldn't see it sprouting yet. You couldn't see nothing happening. So you gave up. A lot of times I go live, I can't see nothing happening, but I still show up. Because it's about consistency. If I want something, I gotta work for it. No one gonna hand me nothing. I came from the hood, remember? Nothing is handed to you when you come from where I come from. You have to plant your own seed. It's called breaking generational curses. The process is a part of the journey. Tea Time Beauty asked a question. Let me read it for y'all on the other platform. She says, do you ever feel like it's hard to find people to trust professionally as a needy woman? My grandpa tells me a lot of people will not want to see me win because I'm black and because you're a woman, beautiful and educated. Wow, this is really a deep topic, or is it more of a transactional relationship? I want to learn to better protect myself and trust me. See, in this world, I used to be one of those people who felt like I don't know, I wanted other people to support me fully, and I wanted to find my tribe so heavily. And before I got to this point, I wasn't really into the Niji or the history, so I was a whole nother identity. I hope that makes sense. I was in this other identity that I was born into, like a super into religion and all that stuff. Now I'm more spiritual because I know history and I learned so much about it that it just changed my whole perspective. But now, as a melanated dentist in this world, it is very, 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 very hard to find like-minded people, whether that's family or friends, who are going to support your vision, because it's a crab in the pot mentality. I know that people say that all the time, but I'm a witness now because I've been fighting like to be included in circles that I should be included in. This comes with family, friends, or whatever. And I realized, damn, they're not going to include me in this circle. And people would say, hey, they don't want to include you because they don't know how to accept you now. And I'm like, what? I'm still me. In my eyes, I'm still Shontario, but to their eyes, I'm this dentist. I'm this whatever they have built up in their head. And, so when you get into this space where you're trying to be successful, you are successful, you're not going to have a lot of people to support that vision, because they like, why would I support you when I couldn't even support myself? Or why would I support you when I can't, when I'm not successful? Or if I, whatever perspective they have in their head, they will not support you. They will not. So you have to get into new circles, find your network of people who truly support you unapologetically. And it's not too many people like that. In my life, I can probably count on my hand how many people are like that. A lot of people get silent. They won't hype you up. They don't want to hype you up. They actually waiting to see if you're going to fail. And I think my story shocked people because back in those days, like I told you, I didn't have a lot. I was supposed to be a statistic. People was already counting me out back then. So you gotta know, once you make it, they gonna continue to try to count you out or silence you or not support you, because that's just how it is. And I didn't want to believe it, Tea Time Beauty, but it's true. And I think this year, it finally hit me. I had to let go certain people who I actually love. I love y'all, man, but I can't bring myself down and dim my light because you refuse to accept my glow. So get you some sunglasses, keep it rocking, and have all the confidence in yourself, regardless of who don't support you, regardless of you in different circles where you outgrown that circle. So a lot of times you outgrow circles, you outgrow spaces, and we try to hold on to those spaces. We try to hold on to those people, hold on to that network because there's some type of emotion involved. I heard someone say God sent the dream to you. It was not a conference call. Facts. You know, you got this dream in the spirit. Our creator sent it to you, not to everyone else. So they might not understand your growth, They might not understand your glow. And I had to learn that that's okay. It's okay for me to still love people from a distance, from afar. They don't understand my glow. They don't understand your glow. So you got to keep going. And maybe they going to catch up, maybe they won't, but you don't hold any like negativity in your heart for these type of people. You just keep glowing. And one day they going to see your glow, maybe not. But it have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Whoever don't support you don't have nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with how you move, your boundaries. So for me, I got boundaries now. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not so emotional when people don't understand my glow. They don't want to respect my glow. It's like, okay, we in two different spaces. And I really had to learn that, dang, I outgrew certain spaces that I can't be in because they will never respect me. And if they do, maybe then it's going to be too late. But I refuse to stop glowing because you don't respect it.